Hey guys, Jen here. Just wanted to come on and explain what I've been feeling. So today, it's been an extremely off day. I've been feeling extremely depressed. Almost like in Star Wars, if you'd say like there's a great disturbance in the Force. I'm not sure where it's coming from or how it's coming from, because personally with my family everything's okay, so it's not related to my family or my relationship, personal, romantic relationship, because that's all fine, all my friends are okay. So I'm thinking it has to do with something worldly, and definitely with this haze and stuff, with the wildfires up in Canada and stuff, it's kind of interesting. Plus I keep seeing signs of quote-unquote death a lot, and it's like with the peregrine falcons or whatever the falcons I have in my backyard here, which have been eerily silent today, so hopefully they're moving on. I've seen a lot of feather clumps, which means like they've eaten the birds or something, and it's very hard to deal with right now, but I also see it as a way for me, the universe is showing me how to deal with death, and in more of a positive aspect, instead of looking at it as a fear and a sadness type of a thing. I have to look at it as more or less the way of life, where like even trees, like these trees, they have green leaves right now, but in the winter they're dead, but they come back to life, so there's always a transition. And I know, it's kind of sad, because you're like, oh well, that bird's no longer here, and that bird's voice, but it's also those other birds who fed on them have to survive too. So it's just a real interesting lesson on how to look at transition, and stuff. So, and I don't know what's going on with Tibet and all these other places, especially with that recent earthquake that we had in California with the 7.1. The earth is very unstable right now. Mother Earth is doing what she needs to do to cleanse herself and to heal. There's a lot of interesting things that are going to be happening, especially now that we're in Mercury Retrograde as well. So there's just, it's a lot going on. And a lot of it also has to do with, this is how the things that are going to come up with Mercury Retrograde that we are going to need to go inside and deal with and make peace with and work through. It's kind of like our shadow aspects. So if you're having like a tough time of it, it's okay. This is what is meant to, happen and things like that. This is why we have to work through them. Right now, apparently my lesson is about death and transition. So I'm not sure exactly what that's all about. But instead of just being depressed and being all letting it take over me, I'm transforming it into a lesson and into trying to understand it, and not be so scared of it, more to integrate it, to learn, like to not be so personal about it, and to put myself in the third position and just look at it through a third person view, as, hey Patty, more as a experience instead of a like looking out and seeing like what's happening and why is this happening. All right, if I'm feeling this way, what do I need to work through? So a lot of it, I have to work through things. So if you're feeling a lot of depression or sadness or just like that heavy feeling, just go with it. Just kind of like, don't wallow in it, but just try to look at it and see if you can figure out, well, okay, what is this trying to teach me? What is the silver lining in this? Like with me, we all know that death is not just the end of things. It's all like a transition into a better, lighter body, so to speak, and things like that. So it's just, and even right now talking to you guys, I'm very foggy, my brain, I can't really put things together. I can't ground. I'm not being able to ground like I did. I have my Mercury bracelets on, but it's just I'm out in nature, because that's the only thing that usually helps me. The only other thing that could possibly help me is taking a really nice cold shower because of water. I'm an Aquarius, so it's like a water thing for me. But then that's also another thing. There's a lot of people in the spiritual center that are talking about water and things like that. So I think that's another part of what's going on. So I just want to come on here and say, okay, if you guys are having a tough time of it too, it's okay. Work through it. Reevaluate what's going on. Reevaluate your views, your how you go about life, what possibly this feeling or these experiences that you're having are teaching you. Try not to wallow in it, or try not to have it fully envelop you. Try to get out and at least kind of, like for me, I'm like, dude, I need to go get some freaking ice cream, because I know that helps me feel better, but I know it's not a healthy thing. But for right now, it's okay, because as long as you stay and you do it with in moderation. So you just got to kind of be able to work through it in as much as you can, like baby steps. I mean, don't try to do like, oh my God, okay, I'm gonna tackle this head on and do that stuff. Hi Patty. And it's just try to do it at your pace, how you feel like. If you feel like sleeping it off, sleep it off. If you feel like going for a jog because you got all that energy inside you, go for a jog, go for a walk. Personally what you need to do. If you do yoga, do yoga. If you want to spend time with your grandkids, spend time with your grandkids. Kids are awesome. Their energy is pure. They don't have any judgments yet. So, I mean, pets too. Pets are awesome. Spend time with your animals and your pets if you can. I do nature and my pets and things. I also used to do puzzles, so I'm going to try to get back into that, but my cat tends to get on the table and knock all the puzzle pieces off, so I haven't been able to do that. But yeah, I need to get back into doing my art, because that was a creative outlet for me when I was younger, and I stopped doing that. And by doing that and doing my art, that's what brought me closer to source and made me happy. And so by doing things that we put off because we're adults now, that once made us happy, we need to retain those and bring them back if we can, so that we can just be like, okay, you know what? I know this calms me down. I know it helps me out. Each person's different. I mean, certain people like mechanics, go out, tinker with your car or whatever. Some people like crafting, go make a craft book or whatever. My friend's all about crafting. She sells stuff on Etsy. Just anything that what will help you out and center you, so that you can move through this. Drink lots of water too. We don't want to do a lot of sugar-based things. I know I just mentioned ice cream, so I'm like counter-reacting myself, but we want to go light on that stuff, because the more heavy you do with that stuff, the more it's going to bog you down. And when we're getting these feelings, it's more of a download. So we gotta integrate those downloads, and the more we stay away from the processed foods and things like that, the better we're able to integrate them without any complications. I've been drinking a lot of pop for caffeine, which is not good for me, and I'm getting a gut because of it. But it's what I was doing. But right now with Mercury Retrograde, and I know that the downloads are coming. I gotta get back to that purified water. But to keep me awake and to keep me doing things during the day, that's kind of like what I did. But then I go on and off with it. So just kind of go with the flow. If you feel like doing something, follow your intuition. Just definitely follow your intuition. We definitely have to follow our intuition this time. Yeah. So there's a lot going on, and I'm here by my nice old cherry tree. Poor cherry tree. That's another sign of the death that I've been seeing too. The fact that this tree is almost completely dead. There's a branch right up here. It's all dead. So I mean, it's kind of sad to see kind of that stuff, but we know, that part over there, we know that with death comes life. So, and all that other stuff. So I'm feeling a lot of the disturbance in the force, if you will. So I don't know if anybody else feels that way too, or has any other things coming up. The more I talk about it too, the easier it is for me to let it go. So it's as I'm talking about it, I'm releasing it from my throat chakra. And so I'm speaking it, and I'm getting that energy out of my body so it can transcend into the universe. So that's another good thing. Write in a journal. if you don't have anybody to talk to about it, just write in your journal, get it out on a piece of paper, whatever you have to do. Because a lot of times we have to release some of these blockages that are within us. So that's another good thing to do as well. So these are a couple tidbits of information and figuring out what's going on with the energy. I'll see if there's anything that's on the news. I don't like watching the news, it's too negative, but for the global stuff, a lot of my other feelings that usually I get that are not related to my family, because I go to my family first and make sure they're okay, and then it's usually like government or politics, world events, tragedies, things like that. Whew, sorry. Then it's usually something like that. So I know it's not my family right now. So I'm thinking it might end up being in the news in the next couple days, something that's going to happen. Or it might just be, they've been talking about another earthquake coming up because the pressure's building. I don't know. I know a lot of these portals that we're having now are spewing out more energy, cosmic energy, into the atmosphere. And it's activating the DNA of both Mother Earth and us as humans. So, and the more that we're in tune with ourself and our soul, the more we're going to feel it. So some of you might not be feeling it. Some of you might be. Some people are more sensitive to things than others. It's all flow. And that's why we're all here, so we can all come together and explain what's going on. Chipmunk's mad that I'm sitting on his little bench here. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. I'm going to go and try to walk some more in nature and go and take another shower and see if I can ground myself even more, and then get out my coloring books and see what I can do. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Love, light, and blessings, everybody. Namaste. Love you all. See ya.